One, as you come in, please let us know where you're streaming from this evening.
Yes.
Happy Friday.
I'm cold, y'all, so I had to put some layers on. Seems like, let us know where y'all streaming your phone. Come in, come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. See my hands on the inside, outside. Put it right here on this side.
You look really thick.
I'm bundled up.
Yeah.
All right, come on in, y'all. Let's know where you're streaming from.
Like it's snowing.
Like it's snowing. The temperature just dropped all of a sudden. Out of nowhere. What up, Stephanie? On it. What up, Chris? God bless you, sir. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Come on in. Come on in.
Hello.
My brother Jaja review. Dorette Cousins. Are we kinfolk? Cousins? Are we kinfolk?
All right.
Well, good evening, all. Good evening. Is your phone muted, sweetie?
I don't even. Oh, let me see. I don't know.
Don't know, huh?
I'm not sure.
Hallelujah. Come on in. Let's know where you're streaming from. All right. We're going to jump in. My name is Jomo. This is my lovely bride,
Charmaine.
We've been married now 20-something plus years. Been together since 95, and we come together on Friday nights. And our whole goal is to get real, raw, relevant information in reference to relationships and tell us some of our stories and our history in reference to how we navigate through relationships. Everyone thinks that relationships, everyone wants to get into a relationship, but not everyone is ready for a relationship.
Right. Well, this evening, we're going to start with Cousins Chronicles. Cousins Chronicles is our everyday life, things that happen, and we deal.
Yes. So I think this is interesting, this Cousins Chronicles. So I was out here on the patio, and I was working on my sermon. And my lovely wife came down and sat next to me and, was smelling good, And I decided to kiss her a couple of times. And she said this to me. And this was, I think, just interesting. She said, Jomo, you need to have consistent touch in your relationship. Okay? It's a good thing. So I'm trying to be intentional with consistent touch, those kind of things. So anyway, I saw her and I just kissed her and I said, you know what? Let me kiss her again. Anyway, so she says this to me. This is hilarious. She's like, Jomo, if we didn't have kids, we can go to the bedroom and have some relations right now. Right? So my first thought was, how am I supposed to respond to that question? Now, for my brothers who are out there who are married, I want y'all to answer this question for me. When a person says, we could have sex if we didn't have kids.
I said like 3 or 4 things.
No, but my point to you is, if you tell me that we could have sex if we did not have kids, you're just saying we're not going to have sex. My point is, it's a contradictory statement because we got kids. And
I was reminiscing on when we were first together and we didn't have children and no responsibilities and we didn't have a name at all. A name as far as people knowing who we are.
Nobody knows us. Nobody knows us.
We would just be very free. We would have free love, as your grandmother would say.
Free love.
Free love.
My grandmother always said, free love.
Free love. So, it wouldn't matter. When have kids, you could do it anywhere in the house, and it's not a big deal because you don't have to worry about anybody walking in on you or. And I was thinking about the fact that, we were on the patio. It was such a nice day out on the sofa. And it's windows all around us. And if we didn't have children, we would probably just be free with whatever we wanted to do. Whereas now that life has changed, you got the dog in between us.
Whoa, again, the dog.
Kids are running around in different windows.
Whose decision?
He's a family member now.
Hell no.
He is our family member.
Hell no. So I laugh that sometimes in relationships, a spouse will tell you something that's impossible.
Don't you guys reminisce sometimes something may start getting a little hot and heavy and you be thinking, dog, if it was just another time in life right now, this would be really good. Give me a why if you feel that way sometimes. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Like,
No, I know.
reminisce.
I know there's a lot of brothers out there who get these promises,
Yeah.
and then it's not even
It's
possible.
not even a promise. It was just like I was just, I don't know, thinking about it. You don't even want me to mention it if it's not possible. Is that what it is?
I'm just saying. Now, this is my opinion. Once you mention something, I want to fulfill what was mentioned.
Here we go.
No, my point is if
Fulfill it.
no, my point is if you say something, it triggers something on the inside of me, deep inside of me. Deep.
We're not having sex in cars and
Whoa,
on
whoa.
stairwells and stuff anymore. It's not happening.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so the gist of it is sometimes we say things that it almost is like a downer.
From growing up.
Yeah, it's like
for growing up and having children
it's like,
and
dang.
adulting.
Yeah, it's like
You have to be responsible.
You almost like you wish you can go back. Like she's like, well, gentlemen, we have kids. You do this. Whoa, what does that mean? I got 3 kids. Why even say that to me? Because now you're like, wow, can I get rid of them? Can I take them back? Why say?
For just like an hour.
Why even say if we didn't have kids, we could do this? Whoa, what is that? That's such a downer. That's depressing.
Oh, whatever. Well, I have a Cousin's Chronicle. Do you have another one?
I do. I got 2.
Oh, go on. What's your next one?
Let me see. So what happened was one thing that one of the goals we had this year that we have not really been I have been adding too many things to my plate.
Mm-hmm. No, I was just agreeing with you. Go on.
So I have a tendency to add things to my plate without calculating the true cost. So with that being said, I've just finished one of my projects, or I'm almost done with a project.
Right.
And I said, and I have another idea. So, and my ideas are good.
They are great.
So I have another idea. It's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to write it, video it, produce it. But I said, you know what? Right now, I'm going to put it on the shelf because I know you want to get back to some things that you want to get done.
You talking to me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I told us, listen, Charmaine, I really appreciate you being you in that you're just all in on the things I do. Because for some reason, I have a lot of things that I try to produce and do. And you don't try to kill me for being who I think I'm supposed to be.
Right.
So with that being said, I said, after we finish this current project, I'm not going to put another project on you. And what I want you to do is I want you to get back to you and get yourself together in regards to what you want to do for yourself and your time.
Right.
Because sometimes with being with a person like me, you almost feel like you're being dragged into things. Because when I do what you kind of have to do it with, I see your eyes. Okay, I see your eyes. I see you. So sometimes in a relationship, if you're with a driver,
right,
you could feel like you're just being drug all around.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I said, listen, so I told her, I said, listen, I'm going to outsource. I'm going to get some people to help me with this new project. And, I'd love for you to be a part of it, but I don't think it's the best move. So like right after that, an opportunity came up, not opportunity, but somebody reached out to her and asked her for help. And my wife is a yes person for the most part. If she can help you, she's going to help you. Mm-hmm. So after she said, okay, I'll do that. I said, babe, now I'm not saying that you didn't do my stuff for me and you did for somebody else. I'm just saying that the new you has to be focused on you. And what I mean by that, sometimes we could be so help driven that we don't help ourselves. And I said, you should get you the way you want to be before you pick up anybody else. Mm-hmm. And it's real. The Bible says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and love yourself as you love your neighbor. And I said, it's important for me to see you get what you want out of the game. Because sometimes we're so driven that we forget about the people who are driving with us.
Right.
It's funny. My wife, she is She's a very strong passenger driver. Anybody?
In what way?
You know what I'm talking? Anybody be driving the car from the passenger seat?
I think I'm traumatized though.
Wow.
Because the last couple of times,
traumatized?
The last couple of times that we've got into car accidents with him driving,
what?
They have always been on my side of the car.
Time out. I cannot help if spirits are
trying.
I
don't know if it's a conspiracy or if it's the driver.
The driver. Now, Charmaine, the last two accidents. Can you say they're my fault?
They were on my side of the vehicle.
Were they my fault?
I don't know if you turned into my side.
Oh my God. You saw the person jump out in traffic.
All I know is my neck was burning.
Wow.
And I was just thinking,
she's a real strong passenger driver.
Second time. So now I help out from the passenger side. I'm an assistant.
OMG.
Anybody hates those drivers. In every other part of his life. So I am going to be that armor bearer for him when he's driving. Do you not see the semi on the side of you with this little car?
I see the
Either
semi.
Speed up or slow down so they can see you when they decide.
Driving. No. Anybody hates people who talk when they drive? Why are you talking?
I'm trying to help you out. Do you see? It's a red light.
It's
a red light. We're not slowing down, brother.
Jesus.
I know you got the Tesla and you ain't got a brake, but just help a sister out and just pump them a little bit. Pump them brakes just a little bit. Let me know it's a red light.
Now, I want to ask somebody, does anybody have a backseat passenger driver who talk while you driving like they don't know, like you don't know left or right?
When you ain't got into so many car accidents with the person and all the hits is on your side, you be twitching a little bit. You got a little twitch. Like, is today gonna be the day? Okay, I have a cousin's chronicle.
What you got?
And it's not even about us. It's something that I heard that I wanted to share with you all because I thought it would be so life-giving for some relationships. So I was speaking to a friend of mine and she was saying how she's been through divorce and she is now happily remarried. And one of the things she incorporated into her new relationship was the fact that her and her husband go to bed together. And I was like, how does that work? She said, well, the whole concept of going to bed together is you never leave the other person out doing chores around the house and completing things without helping the person. So you both go to bed together every night. So she said, my husband works hard. I work hard. So if he cooks, I clean and wash the dishes. We help each other with the kids. And we go to the bedroom together. And when we close that door, both of us are in the room. We don't leave one spouse out cleaning, getting the kids ready for bed, finishing up work that one of us could, the other spouse could be helping the other spouse with so they could, do it faster while the other spouse is sleeping. So they don't separate. And, because she said, I work just as hard as he does. So there's no reason for us not to go to bed at the same time, or at least go in the room at the same time. Even if you don't go to sleep at the same time, just go in the room at the same time. So that way you guys could have that couple time together.
That's good.
She said it's been very important and very vital in their relationship that they've had that time together. They take their shower together. They get in the bed together. They have conversation before they go to bed. It's like, and whatever, but it's been a healthy routine in their marriage. And if it's something that you're struggling with in your relationship with feeling left out, your spouse, and this may not be you, but you may be cooking, cleaning, getting the kids ready for school the next day, helping the kids get ready for bed, doing their bedtime routine, and then cleaning up the house before you go to sleep. And then your spouse is watching TV. They get up from the TV and they go to the bed and they get themselves together and they get in the bed. If that's your relationship, you are going to start feeling some kind of way about them not participating in those family chores because you work just as hard as they do. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, even more so when you're a stay-at-home mom, because you don't get a chance to walk away from your job. You're always on the job. So I thought it was a great
I think it's
thing
good.
to
I
incorporate.
think that we sometimes do it. It's not consistent, but we've done a lot more than we used to. You know, because
But I thought that was really sweet,
That's
and
a
it was
good
very
idea.
endearing. And he actually added to the conversation and said that it just feels good to know, you know, when after I get finished eating, I see her cleaning up or whatever, and I'm ready to go to bed. I don't just get up and go to the room. I'm gonna help her so we can speed this along so we can go in the room together.
And I think that will definitely encourage other things when you help before you get in the bedroom. It definitely is a process. It's foreplay.
Right.
So anyway, tonight, by the way, Kim, what's up from Maryland?
Hello,
Kim was talking about that women are traumatized by their husband's driving ability.
Yes.
And I do not.
I agree with that. Totally.
We rebuke that spirit. Men are excellent drivers. I am an excellent driver.
I wonder the statistics on that. Are men more likely to get into a car accident than women?
Yes.
I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Maybe that'll be next week's Cousins Chronicles.
It's true.
Statistics.
The highest rated, the most expensive insurance are for males.
Right. Because you guys are aggressive. You watch Fast and Furious and think you're a driver.
Well, I am a driver.
Yeah. But we just want to get there safely.
Well, you've gotten there safely. You're here. You're here. You're here for 25 years. You're here.
Some little bumps and bruises, but I'm here.
Tonight we're going to be speaking and dealing with questions you need to ask yourself before you leave.
Because we know some couples and some relationships are going through hard times right now, and you're trying to figure out, man, is it worth it to stay in this relationship? Is it worth it for me to feel the way I'm feeling? We have some questions you should ask yourself before you leave your relationship. Before you call it quits, ask yourself these questions.
All right, go on.
Number one, do you still love him or her?
Now,
love should have brought you home last night.
By the way, Dr. Ja, I just got me some new underwear in the mail.
Yes.
By the way.
We did fix that problem.
Yes, so Charmaine's ordered me some underwear, so we're not going to have more underwear issues in reference to that.
We were like, we're going to get this brother some underwear.
So here's what God spoke. Well, here's what I got on this. Do I still love them? Here's a better question. Do I still respect him? I have seen over and over again, a person may love you, but do you respect them?
Right.
Because see, there's a difference between love and respect.
It is.
Remember, a man feeds off of respect, not love.
Right.
So though you may love him, he may have done some things where you no longer respect him. So I love you, but I just don't respect you. And that's the thing I've seen.
That would be a breaking point for a male.
That's my whole point, because I had a lot of people I've known who they love the person, but they just respect him. Right. Now, for whatever reason, so some of the disrespect is based on things that have happened. Right. But for whatever reason, you can love a person, but not respect a person.
Right. I find it very interesting that the least percentage of divorce is with couples that have been arranged marriages.
Yeah, prearranged marriages.
And the wife respects the husband's position in the family and respects the husband's name and doesn't want to. So it's all about respect first, and then it's love.
Well, I think that would do.
And respect, I guess
it would do great measures for our relationships. Because we have all these prerequisites before respect. I will respect you if you do this. Okay. I'll respect you if you do that. And now, my premise to you is I understand that if a person is falling short and not fulfilling things, I can understand how you can lose respect. True. But my point is I'm respecting the position and not necessarily your actions. Right. The challenge is, if you have too many negative actions, I don't care about your position no more. Right. Because see, you're not worthy. Now, Pastor, worthy of respect. My premise is if you do too many detrimental things, it's hard for a person to respect you.
Right. Scripture also says that it says, wives, respect your husbands. Scripture never says, wives, love your husbands. And I made this point in church because it's easy. It's coffee and it's strong. It's easy for a wife to love because that was embedded in you to love. You were given the gift or the talent to love. Whereas I love strong. I like the taste of coffee. I don't, some people put a whole bunch of cream in their coffee and stuff.
No, totally agree.
So, and then the scripture says for husbands to love your wives, because I don't think it's a natural thing to love as a man. It's to protect. It's to
chase,
provide. You were talking hunt.
No, but we have to be cognizant that whom you do not honor, you do not respect.
Right.
And who you do not respect, you cannot receive from.
Right.
So I think love is vital, but I think for a male it's respect, and I know for a woman it's security. Number one need of a man is respect. And number one need of a woman is security for most people.
Right. So number one was, do you still love him or her? Number two is, does she or he still love you?
Now,
does your spouse still love you?
We have to ask ourselves, what is love to us?
Because it may be different from one spouse to the next.
Because I know some men feel that love is I'm here.
And I'm providing and paying these bills.
I'm paying these bills.
That water get cut on when you hit that faucet. That light come on when you hit that switch.
Love. So
your gas is in your tank. That's love.
That's
right
love.
there.
So we have to be mindful to actually ask our spouses, what does love mean to you?
That's a great question.
How do you define love? This week I have been over loving on my wife.
And I have loved you over loving on me.
Okay. So meaning I have been great. I really try to express my appreciation.
Yes. Lots of hugs and kisses.
I mean, because I don't know what happened this week, but I just like, you know what?
You appreciate me this week.
No, I should appreciate you every week. But my point is, sometimes
you do appreciate me all the time.
I think, you know what I think it was?
What?
I had a dream.
Oh, Lord.
No, it's a good dream. But my premise is sometimes you don't know what you have. And we have to honor and cherish what we have, because nothing's promised. And with that, we just want to make sure that in the time we have that we cherish the moment, because again, our relationship is a bank.
Right.
And you can only withdraw from a bank what you deposit.
That's right. So good. Keep putting it in, babe.
I'm gonna keep putting it in now. Yeah, I'm gonna keep putting it in.
That wasn't trying to say it.
I wasn't trying to say it.
You were trying to make it nasty.
You said keep putting it in. I'm gonna keep putting it in.
I was talking about your account.
I agree. I'm gonna make a lot of deposits.
Number 4, are you still happy? Now, we talked about marriage isn't about you being happy. We've spoke about that several times. So what do you feel about that even being a question to ask? You shouldn't be miserable. That's not God's best for your...
I think marriage is not about happiness, but marriage is about fulfillment. Do I feel
fulfillment of purpose?
Fulfillment of purpose, and you evolving. Marriage was not supposed to be ha-ha, funny. There is some ha-ha, funny in it, but marriage was supposed to be about us becoming Christ-like and fulfilling the image that God had when he made man and woman.
Right.
So God put us on this earth so that we can fulfill a mandate and be the image and likeness of God, man and woman together.
Right.
So with that, there is going to be some pruning that has to take place for us to walk in that oneness. I am thankful for where God has got us to in this process.
Right.
And the challenge, I think, with a lot of other couples is they want a Netflix version of marriage. They want an on-demand marriage.
No commercials, no drama next season. Right.
but you have to grow to certain levels.
Right.
John 1:12, it speaks of that we can be sons of God. We can develop. So we often don't want to develop the skills, the tools, the skill sets to engage and be what we can be. And there is no fast way to get there. You will have to go through the challenges to get there.
Right.
And I always want to be clear to not look at us as perfection or look at us and compare us to you.
Right.
Because we have gone through those processes
right.
to get to this place. And right now, we are probably in the most blessed place of our marriage.
Right.
And you should get better.
Yeah.
If you put the work and constantly be willing to make the investment.
Right, right.
You know, my wife, she had to get some glasses maybe 10, 12 days ago, 14 days ago.
Uh-huh.
And you're not wearing them anyway, but she's supposed to. She had to get some glasses, and
I have to order them.
No worries, baby. I got you. This is nothing negative.
My glasses still don't work.
So she cannot see too well without her glasses. So she had to buy some glasses, and they cost a little bit of money. And I told her, I said, you know what, babe? The old Jomo might have been tripping. I said, but you are so worth it to me. You are such a jewel and investment. And real talk, because she is to me. And
tripping about me buying glasses.
No, I mean, let's. I don't want to talk about that.
I bought 4 pairs of glasses. If I got to wear them all the time, I'm gonna look cute.
I just say, well, you just need to get two pairs, but you're worth it. We ain't talking about you good. 4 pair. 4 pair. 4 pair. 4.
And 2 of them were old frames. I'm just getting the lenses.
I'm talking about that was investment.
Whatever. Anyway, number 5.
Investment.
Is your family in favor of your relationship? Now, back in the day, I would have said, I don't care if your family's invested in our relationship. But now that I'm more mature, I would say that would be a huge deal, because if your family is not for your relationship, it can become a stressful situation on holidays and birthdays and things where it's family time.
Well, here's my perspective. Your family know you.
Right.
They've known you all your life. And for most families, healthy families,
right,
they want what's best for you. So whether you believe it or not, when you go against your parents, the Bible speaks that it don't work out well for you.
Right.
Honor your mother and father, that it may go well with you.
Right.
Some of us have not honored our mother and father, and it has not gone well. It's not what I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying you got to listen to everything that person says. My point is, it's a biblical principle.
Right.
So when you go against principles, you're not going against your parents. You're going against God.
Right.
Now, God is not going to bless a mess.
That's right.
So if God says, honor your mother and father, and the Bible speaks of prearranged marriages, meaning your parents have some input on it.
Right.
So when you go outside of the wisdom,
it makes your relationship so much better when, both families can come together and you all can do family things together. And you're going to have children together, and they're going to be the grandparents of your children.
Let me help you. You are blind when you feel like you're in love. Okay? And don't mess around and give him the cookie.
What are you talking about? When it comes to your family?
No, what my point is, when a person is in a relationship, they don't see clearly.
Okay.
And if they're having sex, they're blind.
Okay.
So now people in your family who love you are trying to tell you what they see, but you don't see it.
Okay.
Because you have gone past the point of no return.
Right.
So now they're telling you, but you don't see it. It's kind of like anybody have a friend and you try to tell your friend that she ain't good for him or he's not good for her, and they cuss at you when you try to help them because they in love.
Mind your business. Mind your
love.
business.
Okay, you be in love, but a couple months from now you on my shoulder crying.
And you let them. Number 6, are your friends in favor of your relationship? You pretty much just answered that one.
Correct.
Are you still willing to commit to your spouse? Are you still willing to commit to your spouse, not to your job, not to your friends, not to another person?
Let me deal with something real quick. You don't have to submit to a man.
You're so dramatic.
You submit to your husband.
That's right.
So some of y'all are acting like wives without a ring. God didn't tell you to submit to a man. He said to submit to your husband. So some of y'all don't understand that you are going outside of order, submitting to something that has not committed to you, acting like a wife or a husband, and there has not been covenant made.
Well,
so now you get mad at somebody when you shouldn't even have to deal with it, because there's no reason to submit to a man. You submit to your husband.
And your husband submits to God. Because you know, when I look at these, no, I'm joking.
You did Coming to America?
Yes.
When I look at the contestants,
for Miss Black Awareness Pageant, I feel good.
I feel good.
No. Okay, number 8, why do you want to end it? Seriously, was it because he left the trash and didn't take it out last night? Was it because you feel disrespected? Was it because you were embarrassed? Was it because you're feeding off of emotion and you're not being logical? Are you thinking about anybody but yourself when you make this decision? Why do you want to end it? I think that's a great question to ask.
I think,
and be real with yourself.
I think one of the reasons to end things, if you see a person brings out the worst in you. I'm not myself with you.
Right. Because the person should bring the best out of you. They should help build you up.
The person you're going to spend the rest of your life with should have the ability to speak to the queen in you or the king in you.
That's right.
Every person has a fool or a king or a queen in them.
Right.
You want to find the person who brings out the queen in you or the king in you, and not the fool in you. So if you're with a person and you always acting a fool because of what they've done to you, you're with the wrong person.
Right. The next one. Are you willing to let the person go? Are you ready to let them go? And are you willing to let them go? Because if you're saying you want to leave them, but you don't really want to let them go, it's like when the wife tells the husband, leave, leave. And then when he's about to open the door to leave, she says, where you going? You ain't ready. So if you're not ready to be done with the relationship, don't speak it. Don't constantly speak things that you really don't want. You're just trying to get a reaction. If you're just trying to get a reaction, you're trying to get some attention, that's not the way to do it. So make sure that if you're saying you're willing to let them go, that you're willing to see them with someone else and be okay with it.
Amen.
All right. I don't remember. Do you see yourself together in the future? Do you see a future with this person? Have you all discussed a future, or the future that you all discussed, it doesn't look like it can ever come to pass now because of whatever has happened in the relationship? Do you need to set a new path with them?
I want to give hope to somebody.
Come on.
I know for us, we're done, Mama.
Yes.
40 minutes. I know for us, there have been moments in our relationship where it could have been done. I think about probably 3 or 4 times in our relationship where potentially it could have been done. But for whatever reason, I can't.
But God.
Yeah. For whatever reason, we persevered and continue to move forward. And I believe oftentimes people quit too soon.
Mm.
And I'm not talking about anybody putting their hands on you in a physical, violent manner.
Agreed.
I'm saying that sometimes we don't persevere through the challenges. Everybody has a problem.
Right.
They mask it well, but everybody has a problem.
Right.
Now, when you're dating them, you may not see the whole problem. But when you marry that joker or that lady, you're going to see all of their problems.
Because you can't hide anything at that point.
Correct. So now, many times, we want a refund because we feel like this person is as is or slightly irregular. But you have to trust that the Bible says where 2 or 3 touch and agree, God goes to work.
Right.
You have to believe that God can work this out. If you got to the place where you're married to the person,
right,
and both of you are willing to work on it, it can work. It can work because if it can't work, then God's not able. Now I know God is able. So I have to be willing to put in the work to get the fruit.
Right.
And I am thankful that though we've made some detours,
right,
especially me, that we have gotten to this place because there's so many lives attached to you fulfilling
the decisions that you make.
Correct.
Right.
That you make. I was driving around with my little brother today, and I was just telling him, I said, son, it's not worth it's not worth some of the choices people make.
Right.
And they don't see the full collateral damage of the choices they make.
Right.
You have family, you have kids, and everyone's watching how you can walk through this. Mm-hmm. And your kids are watching to see how you navigate through this.
And we always say to couples, because some people always say, well, maybe I married the wrong person. Well, if you put God in the center of any relationship, they could have been the wrong person, but they become the right person with God in the center of your relationship. So God can turn anything the enemy made for bad, God can turn it around and make it for your good. So no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
You preach it.
And I know that there's so many couples out there that have gotten a divorce that didn't need to. Some of them have remarried. Some of them have moved on and learned from their mistakes from the prior relationship. But hopefully with us creating this community of couples that want to build stronger relationships and enjoy their marriage and have abundance, that we're able to grab some couples that are feeling like, hey, this might be the end, and giving it a second chance and wanting to get a stronger relationship with God and with themselves.
Tremendous, Grasshopper. Tremendous. Well, we thank you for spending your Friday evening with us. Yes. Remember to love, laugh, and learn. God bless you. See you when we see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.